All right, welcome to the session, guys. Management of Change is the name of the course. If you look at this slide, it is talking about like history and evolution of change management. Yeah, why it is important to, what do you think? Why should we spend any time in understanding what is the historical value of change management or anything about history, past? Why it is? Ask yourself why it is, and please be interactive. I don't plan to just talk myself. So please support the initiative. Yes. So why do you think that for anything, any course you do, anything, any assignment, why it is important to think about the historical significance of that? Why history is important? Why looking back is important, especially in the context of change management. If you want to understand this, what is your opinion on this? That why we should spend time in talking about history? Because history is past, that is already gone. We should be looking forward. Uh, then why we should look back? So Halima is making a point there that maybe, from the past we can maybe predict sometime future. There are some trends, for example. Try to link it with other courses which you do. For example, production and operation management course. In that you do forecasting. How do you forecast? From looking at, sometimes you look at the past data, past information. What has happened in the past? You try to think about the past and then say, all right, maybe that is going to happen in the future. Yeah, sometimes people do that. But think about it, is it history can assist with new development, to make comparison, make improvement. Good points there. uh, so so all of those points are very valid and important, but think about that. Sometimes things change, and your past is not how you are going to behave in the future. So maybe in the past you have you have barely passed your courses. Maybe you are someone who was getting 50s and 60s and so on. And so should I think that in this course also you are going to score the same? Maybe based on what you are saying, but I'm not going to do that. I think that you can always change. The past is there. Past performance does not necessarily predict how you will perform in this course. If your average in the past courses was 60, there is no, I have no doubt that you cannot score 90 in this course. Why not? You just have to change yourself. But the idea here is that change is very hard. It is very easy to say that bring change, but once you go into that, it becomes harder and harder and harder. Yeah. So think about this history and all of those things. Defining management of change. How do you define management of change? Maybe don't post in chat. Maybe turn on your mic and say something. Uh, if you can. What is your understanding of management of change? Ask yourself. You have to define management of change. How would you define it? If let's say you have not looked at the course outline or anything, if I just ask you, what do you think? What are, if we want to manage change in the right way, what are the some of the things which we should be talking about, which we should be thinking about? What are those things which would help us manage change? And think what recently all of this COVID-19 and all of these things, it has disrupted our life, and all of us are trying to manage those changes. What works, what does not work, anything on those lines. So please go ahead and maybe raise your hand, or maybe just say without raising your hand, or at least keep thinking in your mind. Yes, Abby, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, hi sir. I think change is necessary. It's very imperative. Because judging from like the history, you have things to fall back on, but there is a new approach. You have to go about things in a different way. So with change comes different approaches, how to tackle different aspects of whatever you're going through. So, like the management, you might have a specific way how you would deal with that certain situation in the past, but now we're in different times and you have to go about things differently. So, I don't know if that is one.
Very good, excellent contribution to the discussion, Abby. Excellent points. Yeah. So think about these points which Abby is mentioning. She's saying that change is necessary, and you have heard uh, these type of quotes. Change is constant. Change is necessarily. If you don't adapt and adopt to new situations, you will die out. You will perish. You will well, think about all these companies. What are they doing? They are always trying to, marketing campaigns, for example. If some of you are interested in, let's say, marketing, new and new ways of engaging you by new marketing campaigns, changing them all the time. Look at the layout of, for example, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of these things. They keep on changing their layout. Have not you observed that? Yeah, the logo of Instagram was different a couple of years ago. They changed it. Pepsi, logo of Pepsi. Every few years they change it. Why they are changing it? Are they changing the taste of Pepsi? No, they are not changing the taste of Pepsi, but they are changing how you would want to look at it. Yeah, so that's very interesting things to think about it. Yeah. Approaches, different approaches to manage change. That's very nice. Excellent point Abby has mentioned. Different approaches, just like interacting in the session, how to conduct a session. Everyone would have different approach. Um, I love that quote. Someone said it to me, and I really love it. Different strokes for different folks. I love it. Yeah, so different approaches. There is no, and think about this that uh, on one hand you have to keep things consistent. You have to keep things similar. Yeah. On the other hand, you have to adopt and adapt with changing times and maybe change your approach. Yeah. So if change management requires change in approaches, as Abby is mentioning, then what type of personality you need to manage change? What are some of the attributes in the personality of a person who is managing change? If the person is rigid, if the person thinks that whatever he is saying or she is saying, that is the right way, maybe change would not be managed in the right way, because different people would engage differently, very differently. Yeah. uh, so different approaches. So you might have your own approach. So for example, my approach of conducting sessions is that it's very interactive. I ask questions, I take feedback, I take pointers and build on that. But it is easier when I can see you guys in the classroom. I can say, oh, all right, Amara, tell me what is there, and Courtney, please tell me. But right now, I don't have that type of environment in which I can do. But 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 this point about different approaches, this is in my head. So many things are coming right now. But I would like to ask you, what do you think? So anyone else maybe can say couple of couple of things, maybe any pointer or anything. Why it is important to learn about history? What is your understanding of management of change? What are some of the things which you think should be studied or reflected on in a course like management of change? Are you good in managing changes? What makes you good? What are some of the things which work for you? What are some of the hindrances, obstacles you maybe face when managing change. Uh, and the future is so dynamic. We don't know what is going to happen in the future. We can predict, and predictions can be pretty good also. For example, nowadays they use a lot of statistical modeling to predict what is going to happen in the future in different areas. For example, forecasting of rain, weathers. They can know 6 months, 7 months in advance that what would be the weather like. 6 months, a year ahead, they can predict that. That's how we are able to predict hurricanes and those type of things, tornadoes in advance. But still, the uh, on the other hand, there are some things which we cannot predict. For example, when we are dealing with human beings, it becomes a little harder to really predict. If I'm able to say what is in my head. uh, have you experienced this, that you are friends with someone and you are very close and everything, and they do something and you don't understand why they did that? Yeah. So what happened there? Your prediction failed. Or maybe you did something and other person said, what is going on? Why this person is not like that? Yeah. So external influences, you can think about that. And sometimes even ourselves, we would do. Have you experienced that you do something in life and then later on you say, why did I do that? I don't understand. Maybe you are angry, maybe you are frustrated, and in that moment you did something and then later on you said, I don't know why I did that. Yeah, those type of things. uh, so all of those things are kind of part of understanding how to manage change. And you guys are expert in the field now. COVID, everyone, if not expert, uh, you are not a novice, because all of us have been going through change, and we have been trying to manage the change in our own way. So some were able to manage in a right way, in a better way, in a good way, and maybe less frustrated than others. But everyone had their own way of managing this pandemic, COVID-19, throughout the world. People are mostly talking about the negatives and downside of COVID-19, but think about it, there are a lot of positives of COVID-19 also. This pandemic, if it depends on how we view it and what we want to take away from that. Because think about it, we are having this online session. There is no way we would have done this if we were not in this situation. You would have to come to the to the to the to the room wherever the session was being kept. Now you are maybe lying in your bed, or you are maybe doing five other things, and maybe you are not even there. You just logged in that to show that you are there, and you just gone doing something else. Maybe you are watching TV right now, and I don't know what you are doing. Yeah. So I'll think about these things. This is, and then if you are interested, you can listen, and if you are not interested, you just say, all right, let me do something. And you are at home and you can eat and all. So think about this. All of these are positives also. If you think about this, your perception of online degree, for example, in the future, let's say you want to do masters, and now if your experience was good of online, uh, then maybe you would think, let me do it from a foreign university and degree. uh, right? And the university dynamics would change, work environment would change. Many people who are working, they are working from home. They don't have to go to work. uh, and think about the savings on a bigger level. Very huge savings are also coming. The cost is also there, which everyone knows, and we are talking about it. But I just wanted to reflect a little bit on the positives of COVID-19 also. I do understand that some of you must be frustrated and you are not maybe not able to see the positives, but I just want to say a couple things. For example, on gas, transport has decreased. So the gas savings on that, all those people who are that we are like around 50 people here, all of us driving, coming to UV, going back. How much gas is lost there? How much gas is lost? What is the price of that gas? All of that money, we might think that we are saving that money, but if you, from your econ course, introductory to economics, those of you who have done it, it is not what we saved. It is what government of Jamaica has. Our government has saved that money because we used US dollars to buy gas. So now we will be still buying, of course, but it will last us longer. So we have saved that US dollar. Our own spendings, for example, I have seen it in myself. Like, I'm addicted to Coke, not that Coke, not the drugs, the Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Coca-Cola. So addicted to I am addicted to Pepsi. So I'm always, I passing through, I stop there and I'm having that, going. And now I'm not having it that much. Uh, it has reduced because I'm driving and I'm passing the gas station, and then I say, let me not go inside if I don't want to catch COVID-19 or anything like that. So I'm still going. Not that I've lost 100%, but still, it has decreased. So I'm saving also on that, and it is giving me health benefit also. So all of those things are, you need to think about that. So history is important. You should think about history and all of those things. But the way I look at it, I think that you can learn from historical value, but uh, things change, people change, circumstances change. So if I am managing change, I would look at the history, but I would like to look at, what are the situation of the person right now in this moment. What is their motivation? What are their fears? Are they willing to change? How much serious they are? For example, I gave you, the example of scores, for example. So I think it is a I don't know how you view the examination situation, what UV has decided, like multiple choice questions instead of essays. Uh, there is good side to it and there is bad side to it also. But more good, because when I'm looking at the overall grades, I'm seeing that people are scoring higher than what they would score in the essay format. Because in essay format, it is not, it is very difficult to even score 16, 17 out of 20. Your essay needs to be extremely good. But with multiple choice, if it is correct, it is correct. So if you have a MCQ exam, you can score 40 out of 40 in the midterm and 60 out of 60 in the finals. That opportunity is in the essay format. That opportunity is not there. But again, different people are there. So some people don't like MCQs. I totally understand that. That is different. But I'm just trying to reflect on historical value and the comments Abby made, and trying to link it with COVID-19. Anyone would like to say something on this? I would like if someone can turn on their mic and try to to have some interaction, if that is possible. Um, if I can speak that much, although I'm very shy, you guys can also say a couple of things. Yes, Janelle, please. Janelle Baker, I think. No, you guys are not in the talking mood. All right, maybe today's first session, so maybe you are not in the mood, but no problem. So let's look at that theories, model approaches to change management, and Abby was talking about this, like different different approaches, different styles, and so on. This is a clip. You can run it in your you can run it in your own browser and see it. It is quite funny and entertaining. You can look into that. Why manage change? Why to manage change? Why do you need to answer this? Why should we manage change? What is your opinion on that? What do you think? Any ideas? Why why manage change? You can reflect on all of this, all of this conversation. Or, well, it was not a conversation, it was a it was a it was a conversation. You were maybe you were conversating, you were giving answers or replies in your own mind. Yeah, so why manage change? So if we don't manage change in these times when COVID-19 is there, and we just lock down things and we don't try to do something about it, what would happen? The cost is very big. That is why, I'm not aware of many countries who have like 100% lockdown. Very few countries are going for 100% lockdown from day one. They were always looking at curfew times, like you can come out in these times. They had different arrangements, like one day you can come out at these times, the other day you can do this, you cannot do this. You guys are aware of those things. So what is that? That is all of that is trying to manage change. All of that is trying to manage change. uh, you guys learned about these things, um, what do you call this, blackboard, uh, online engagement. You guys learned it a little bit. I learned it a little bit. Yeah. So why we were doing this? This is all of this is trying to manage change. uh, Today, that email which came, which said that we will start from next week and not this week. What is that? That is also managing change, by giving time to people, that okay, first week do this, take your time, and that type of thing. That is also, that is you can argue if it is a good way or bad way, but that is the way of managing change. uh, uh, so please reflect on these things. Importance of this course. I think the things which I have said, uh, they demonstrate a little bit that it is very important. This course is. I don't think that this course you should do it just for the sake of for the sake of completing a module or something. Maybe it is a course requirement or something. It is not like that. It's very practical course, because no matter where you go, no matter which field you go in human resource, or you go in accounting, or you become an entrepreneur, or you don't do anything and just have fun and just do something else, whatever you want to do. In all situations in life, the change is something which is constant, and you would be managing change. So I think this course is going to give you some ideas to reflect on. Not the answers. You're not going to get answers, because everyone is different. As Abby mentioned, different approaches. All of us are same, but all of us are very different. We have our own preferences, we have our own experiences, we have our own situations. uh, all of us look at same thing, but we look at the same thing very differently. Very differently. It is just like you guys go with your friends to watch a movie, and you love the movie, you love the film, but your best friend says that, what foolishness is this? I don't like it. Yeah. It happens. Yeah. So 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 although you are common in many ways with your best friend, but they might have their own preferences, their own. But what happens is that we want to find people around us who are more similar than us, than with similar to us than different. If everything is different, then it will be very difficult because there will be so many changes and you will have to manage all of those changes. That is why similarities are, important in forming friendships and those type of things. But on the other hand, they say that opposite attracts. Opposite attracts. Yeah. Uh, so think about that. What this is the dilemma, that on one hand we are talking about shared values, and on the other hand, opposite attracts. Yeah. So this is very interesting things to look at. These are some figures which you are saying. You can run some Google searches on that. Majority of the change efforts in the world, they fail. Majority of them, they fail big time. Why do they fail? What do you think? Why do you think that majority of the change efforts initiatives would fail? Please, guys, come on, turn on your mic, couple of you guys, and say something. What do you think? Why change? Why change initiatives fail? What are some of the reasons? Why do they don't work out?
I think a lot of people don't know how to deal with change, and a lot of people sometimes get comfortable with where they are or what they're doing, and once something comes to disrupt whatever they're doing, they don't really react to it because they don't want it.
Excellent point, Janelle. Excellent. Please, guys, make note of this. Comfort. So Janelle is saying we become comfortable with what we are doing. And when we become comfortable, we just want to do that thing. Because why? Because we are comfortable. We want to, everyone likes comfort. So it is right now, it is very comfortable for you guys that not to say anything, not to speak. Just sit there and see what is happening, and that's it. That is comfort. On the other hand, if it is very hard to turn on your mic, say something, if you are not used to it, if you are not vocal, many things will be going in your mind. For example, you would say, oh, if what if people don't like what I say, what if I get a negative reaction. So all of those things, you might have fear. And what is the advantage for you to speak? Why should you care? Why you should speak? Uh, why? So on the other hand, I can also ask that, why should I ask you questions? I can just run PowerPoint slides and go on my business. That I can do that also. Yes. So think about these things which Janelle has mentioned. Comfort, we become comfortable. And disruption, she's talking about disruption. Yes, Abby, please go ahead.
Uh, yeah, to build on what she said, to go into like complacency as well. Certain people are afraid of change because that is what they're used to. So to come out of them comfort zone is like you're telling them bad word or something. So they resist the change, and that cause chaos and havoc and what you see going on in Jamaica today, where people don't want to accept the reality that, hey, we're gonna have to make some changes, we're gonna have to adapt to this new way of living. But you have other people who say, no, it's not a big deal. I can just do what I want. So yeah, some people are afraid of change. Maybe.
Excellent. Yes, excellent point, Abby. Thanks for that. Yeah, so think about the fear. Abby is talking about fear. So if you want to change someone or something, maybe one thing you want to do is minimize their fear. Minimize their fear. So if I want you to, if I want you guys to speak up and share your opinion, I might want to understand what is your fear, what is stopping you from speaking, and then minimize your fear. So for example, one fear can be that the point you make is not valid. So let me bring that fear down. Please be rest assured, whatever point you will make, I will ensure that it is my job to link the point to the discussion. That is not your job. Your job is to participate in the discussion, and my job is to link it with 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 management of change. Yeah. So that is one fear. But that is, it's still, it is easy to say that. But still, fear is a big thing. It's just like happiness, just like, and fear Fear does not mean that we are coward. If you are not speaking because of some fear, or I'm just taking this example, you can think about any other example. It does not mean that you are a coward, not at all. You might be very brave person in your life, in other things, but when it comes to speaking in front of some people, maybe that fear comes in. Public speaking, they always say, public speaking is public speaking is, let me tell you a joke. I was reading it somewhere online that a guy, the guy was saying that my mind is always, working, uh, but it stops working when I come in terms of, in front of a crowd. My mind stops working. That's a joke was on those lines, something on that the mind stops working when you come. So, and you might have experienced also, the nervousness comes. Some people get, heartbeat increases, all of that. What is that? That is, they are afraid of public speaking or something like that. But that does not mean that they are coward. They might be very, very brave. They might be having all type of bravery in their life, but in this regard they are not. So think about this. You might see a very brave, very open, very outward, very extrovert type of a guy or girl, but when it comes to public speaking, they might be, a little bit reluctant. So what is that? Yeah. So see how difficult it can be to judge, to predict, because some people are, it is not that you can label someone that this person is brave or fearful. Yeah. Because same thing is for introvert and extroverts. Introvert is not introvert all the time. The most introvert person is also extrovert in front of someone. Maybe there are two or three people, but in front of them they are very extrovert. And the most extrovert people are also introvert in front of some people. Yeah, think about this. Think about this. Very extrovert person, but let me think of some example. And he sees some beautiful girl and he want to, say something to the girl, and now his heart is racing and he can't say. He's very extrovert otherwise. So friend says, what happened? Well, I'm nervous because I'm afraid what she will say, or he, or you can think about any other example. Yeah. So it's an extrovert. And same for the introvert. A very introvert person who is not speaking, very shy and all of that, in front of maybe close family members or someone, they are, able to express their opinion, or close friends and those type of things. Yeah. So fear, if we want to bring change, we want to maybe minimize people's fear, why they are complacent, comfort zone, all of these things. You need to please think about these things. When you become comfort, what will happen? Improvement happen if you are comfortable with your situation, whatever your situation is. If you are comfortable with that situation, is anything going to change? Are you going to improve your life, or your academic performance, or your financial, whatever situation? No, you will not, because you, but think about this. All of us are very comfortable. I'm asking you guys again and again, please come and say something, this, and I'm sure all of you have points, but you are not doing that. Yeah. So how this is a time to hone your skills, to engage in conversations online. This will help you somewhere in your work. You can make mistakes here, no one is going to judge you, but in the work life, if you make those type of mistakes, that can be a problem. Please think about these things. I was speaking about, for example, scores, that it doesn't matter you scored maybe 50s and 60s in the past. In the future, you can score A plus. And I'm not just saying it. I really believe it, and I've seen people do that. But who are those people who are able to do that? Who are those people? Those people are very uncomfortable, very unhappy, dissatisfied, angry about their marks. They are not happy. That unhappiness, that uncomfort which they feel in their heart and their mind, that makes them, study or whatever. People who change their class, people who are poor and they become rich, how do you think that happened? How do you think? Why that happened? I'm not talking about, getting involved in some, something wrong, like, how that happened. A small business, how that small business become big business? What are one or two key things in the entrepreneur which made that happen? That is unhappiness. They were not happy. They were uncomfortable with the situation. Whatever they wanted to change it. So when you are unhappy, then you don't care if you have been sleeping or you are tired or you are whatever. Those things don't matter. uh, if you have been working from morning till night, you don't get tired that way, because your mindset is that you want to change the situation. To change the situation, you are working hard or whatever you are doing. So unhappiness, all of those things are, we don't like that. No one likes it. I don't like it. I'm not saying I like it. I want to do things which I'm comfortable in and all those things. If someone puts us in an uncomfortable situation, we don't like that person. But growth comes from uncomfortable situations. Please write that down somewhere, because we are these are uncomfortable times. COVID-19 is making us do things differently. Many of the people who are going to graduate, it will be hard for them to find jobs, because the job market was already tight, and now because of COVID-19 new things are going to happen. Yeah. So what are you going to do about that? Yes. So these things you need to please think about that. uh, we don't like being uncomfortable, but growth comes from uncomfort. Without uncomfort, growth is not going to come. It can come. Let me correct myself. It can come. Anything can happen, but I'm talking generally speaking. Yeah. If you guys say something, and then we can maybe have some conversation on that. Yes, Janelle, please go ahead. Yes, Janelle Kirliu, I think you want to say something. So whenever you are ready, you can participate the in the in the in the. Yes, Janelle, please go ahead. Okay, I think maybe she's having some problem, but think about these things, please. Majority of the organizations change management effort, they fail. Okay, no problem, Janelle. When your mic gets better, you can you can come back. Yes. So these things, please reflect on them. Think about these things. Uh, and the people who manage change, they know all these things, but still they fail in managing change. This is very interesting thing to reflect on, that you know why people don't get these basic things correct. Because 70%, 75%, in some instances you will see that 90% of change management initiatives fail. 90%. Yeah. So please run a Google search on this. What percentage of change efforts fail, and see what type of statistics uh, you find. Don't just believe on these slides. 70% and more. Uh, Chev is saying 70% and so on. Reasons for organizational change fail. So they are talking about organizational change per se, But I encourage you to reflect on any type of change: individual change, private personal life change, professional life change, professional work related change initiative, anything, organization or departmental, or change initiatives in the university or in your education, whatever you want. These are some of the fatigue, frustration. You are frustrated, you are, because you are, this thing is new for you. uh, so that frustrates you. uh, you did not get a lot of time to prepare. You are not mentally prepared to take on that challenge. uh, anything on that, you can think about that. Negative attitude, negative attitude. uh, so what should be your attitude? What should be your attitude during COVID times? Yes, you can be angry and negative and all of that, but is that going to benefit you? If that benefits you, you should be angry and negative. But if it is not going to benefit you, then you should try to think about what positive is coming from this situation. uh, Attitude is a big thing. Attitude, what is your attitude? But again, these things very easy to say in this type of discussion or conversation. But in real life, these things becomes very very hard, because think about it. If you are if you are if you are if COVID-19 is making you frustrated, it is making you frustrated. What you can do about it? You can't do. If you are taking exam and the internet connection is lost, and now you have to write emails and run up and down, what you can do about that? It is going to give you negative attitude there. Yeah. So think about that. Lack of commitment. Yeah, lack of commitment, how much committed you are. That is very important. That is what I meant when I said that I would look at the current mindset of the person who was maybe securing 50s and 60s in the past, and they want to secure 80s and 90s in the future. So I would look at their commitment right now, how much they are committed right now, what has happened in their life which has changed them to say that now I'm very serious. I'm not going to waste my time or spend my time in unnecessary activities, and just focus on the things which I want to do. Easy to say, but difficult to do. We all know that. I Let me just tell you, I have been trying to quit, like for example, Pepsi and Coke for a long period of time, but I'm unsuccessful. It is just, I'm just addicted. If I don't have it, I feel very strong cravings, which I cannot resist. So you know, those of you who don't feel that craving, you would say, what is that? That don't make sense. Yeah. So that is what you need to understand in terms of approaches. That is where you need to understand that everyone is different. For you, what is very difficult, for me that might be very easy. For me, what is very difficult, for you that might be very easy. Yeah. Different approaches. Abigail was talking about that. Abby was talking about that. Different approaches. Yeah. Lack of clear vision. Yeah. Where you want to go in the future. That is lacking. That is not there. What would be the benefit? What is the benefit of doing something? If you don't buy that benefit, you are not going to do that. uh, you might. So for example, I know that these type of soft drinks are not healthy at all. There is a lot of sugar in that. They mess up the body. I know that. But is that changing my behavior? No, it is not changing my behavior. So knowing something does not result in change of behavior. You might know something that you should do this, but you will still not do it. Reflect in your own life. How many things are there in your own life? I gave you my example, Pepsi. How many things are there in your life which you know are not good, which you want to change, but you are unable to change them. You just can't. Yeah. So knowing does not necessarily mean that someone is also going to, go in the positive direction. We all know so many things, but we don't follow on them. So what are we following on? We are following on the things which we are maybe comfortable with. It's comfortable, which it's enjoyment. Yeah. Complacency, one friend was mentioning this term, being complacent. Why to change? Everything is fine. Yeah. Please reflect on these things. Very interesting pointers to reflect on. New change, monitoring of, so to reflect on these things. What is change management? Please look into the definitions and so on. I try to say a couple of things, try to link it with what you will read going forward. Types of change management activities, there are different type of uh, activities, for example, mergers, acquisitions, and so on. Uh, can you give some examples of some mergers where companies merge locally and internationally? Please, guys, participate in the discussion. Yeah. Yes. So my question is that are you aware of any type of mergers or acquisitions locally or internationally? Yes, Shamar, please go ahead. Okay, maybe some problem with Shamar's mic. He tried to turn it on, but okay, all right. Anyone else? What any give some mergers, acquisitions? Are you aware of any type of mergers, acquisitions, locally, internationally? Any type of mergers, acquisitions? What was the company like? Maybe the company was very successful in the past, and in the future when they merge together they are not as successful. Courses like international business management, MGMT 3037, I think. In those type of courses, you talk about mergers, acquisition, but there are many local examples also. You can look it in the slides also. They have given some examples. Or international market, mergers, acquisitions. Uh, Two companies which are successful, they merge, or someone acquires the asset of some other company, or two departments merge, or two people merge. Two people, a girl and a boy, they merge. Yeah, they form a relationship. So there is a very good guy, excellent guy, wonderful guy, and there is a very beautiful, good looking, very nice, well mannered girl. They are very very nice people individually. Now they come together and the relationship does not work out. It's a merger. Yeah, they're coming together. It does not work out. What does that mean? They were very good individually, but when they come together, things don't work out. Maybe their way of doing things is different. What is way of doing things? That is culture. Maybe their values are different. Maybe their priorities are different. Maybe their time, how they put the time in different things, that is different. Some small things, uh, very good individually, but when you merge, it does not work. Yeah. Same thing is with the companies. Very good companies when they are on their own, but when they merge, many times they are not successful. Why is that? Yeah, that type of. You can make your own examples. I'm just trying to make some examples which maybe all of us can relate with. I think all of us can relate with these type of examples. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, Abby, please go ahead. Halima, please go ahead. Anyone, Shavani's, maybe you guys are fixing your mics.
Um,
As
I'll go. I'm going to go first. Can I go?
no,
Anyone can go. Please go ahead.
So I have two here for the acquisition. So you remember RBTT or RBC, Royal Bank of the Caribbean? I think Sagicor acquired them. I don't know.
Yes, that
And
is.
then you have and then you have the JMB Group. They acquired Capital and Credit Financial uh, Corporation or company or something. So yeah, those are my two.
Okay,
Uh,
thanks for that. Thanks for that, Abby. So Sajiko is a very interesting, organization to look into, this because in the last, let's say 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they have been acquiring a lot of, different companies, different assets, and the company has been becoming bigger and bigger, let's say in last 10 years. So they must they must have some good practices which help them to manage these mergers. Or acquisitions, new departments, new organizations which maybe were working or maybe not working. In this case, Royal Bank, they were maybe trying to come out of Jamaica. So in that instance, they saw who can buy the company or get the acquisition, and Sajicor maybe applied and got. But many times there will be mergers and they are not successful also. But what are your examples? Yes, Halima, please go ahead.
Hi, good night. Um, I was thinking the IGI and the Greener merger. So
Yes.
to me, they're the biggest media houses in Jamaica. So one is with TV, radio, and one is with print media. So the two, like the largest media houses coming together, they have greater resources and able to get more.
Thanks for that, Halima. Just would like to add to this that this is a positive side which maybe Halima is showing it, but that there can be some negative side also of these type of mergers where one is good in one area and the other is very good, exceptional in the other area, and when they combine together, overall their voice becomes very strong in Jamaica. So who are the people who are owning these companies? The government of Jamaica must have imposed some type of restrictions. What are the things they can do and what are the things they cannot do? Yeah, these type of mergers should be monitored also. Otherwise, these companies can have so much influence in the country that they can even dictate their whatever they want governments to do. And this happens many times, especially in developing countries. Uh, and so on. Yes, Chev, please go ahead.
well, I was going to say it's the merger of RGR and Dina, but that was said. On the acquisition side of things, NCB recently acquired, I think it's Guardian Life.
Yes, so what we want to think about is what are the positives of these things? What are the negatives of these things? What are some of the things which companies need to think about before they merge with another company? What happens to the employee morale, for example? You need to think about those things. So if I am one company and you are one company, and we have different workers, different employees there, and when you merge, who is going to become the manager? Is it someone from my people or from your people? Yeah, these are very difficult questions to really think about, and companies spend a lot of time in trying to answer these questions, but still many times mergers and acquisitions don't work out. Even when they work out, many people they have to lay off, or many people just leave the company because a new culture is formed. New culture is formed, and in that new culture people are not happy. They were comfortable to the culture, but because of the merger a new culture is formed, and now they cannot be complacent, all of those things which you guys were mentioning. Now they have to adapt and adopt, and then and the other pointers. Please read these pointers which our friends have been posting in the chat. Very interesting pointers. For example, this one about sizing and job cutting and all of those things. These are some of the things which you want to manage when you are managing change in terms of mergers and acquisition. But these are very very broad topic, and these are essentially chapters in the book. So I will be making postings on that. I have some recordings on that which I would want to show later on. So think about these are some of the examples which are here for you to reflect on. Types of change management and so on. History, I think in your own time you are going to, Chev, your hand is raised. I'm not sure if you want to say something. If you want to say something, please go ahead. Yes. So history. Yes, Shan. Anyone want to say something? Please go ahead. Anything, any pointer you think is going to help us in the discussion, and because some people raise their hand and then they put it down. So they get a moment in which they think, oh, let me say something, and then they maybe change their mind. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, so history and evolution, all of these things, I think you are going to read it in your own time and reflect on that. I have made some comments which I thought might help you, but these details, like Levin, for example, 1947, or William Bridge, 1979, we will be looking at their models. So these are people from the past who have done considerable amount of work in change management, and they have proposed some approaches, some models, some structures which help in managing change. So throughout the term, we will be looking at lot of models and so on. Yes, Janelle, please go ahead.
It's Janiel, sir. Janiel. I think I've been having trouble finding my classes online and all of that, so
Yes.
I'm really lost right now. So I'm just tuning in to find out what's really going on.
Okay. All right. And my apologies for the wrong pronunciation of our friend, and other wrong pronunciations which I will have in the future also. So I'm sorry for that. Please work with me. Yeah. So these
No,
things yes. Okay. Thank you, Mason. I think I can pronounce Mason in a better way.
yeah, that's better. That's much better.
Yes. Thanks for that. Yeah. So these people, these William Bridge and these models, we will be looking at, and just try to read them in detail. It's not much information on the slides anyways. We will have to read the book, and I'll be making the postings of the book recordings. So there will be a lot of recordings, I think, going forward, and you will have to watch them and see what is happening. Because I taught this course last term, and we did recording, so those recordings we will be using. But I don't do slides, so that's why these were not recording. So I said, let me look at the slides and see what is in there. Yeah. So these are some people, essentially some people from the past, what they were thinking about. So these things you would have to cover in your own time. These are just, what we have already established why we should study it. Maybe we can get some ideas that how they have been doing, and maybe learn something from them. But as one of the friends was saying, it's the times are very dynamic. We need to, just like we need to study the history, we also need to reflect on the future. So in your own time, you should reflect on this, that what would be the future like in any industry which you like. Let's say you like banking, or you like human resource, or you like insurance, or any field, you like marketing, whatever, operation management. What would be the future of your field, whatever field you are interested in? what would be the future of that in next 5 years, 3 years, 10 years down the line, especially as upcoming undergraduate. You need to reflect on that and then try to identify what would be the skills required in that job. So for example, let's say you are interested in marketing. So your major is marketing and you want to become the marketer and so on. That is your ambition. So in the next 3 years, 5 years down the line, when it will be your turn to get hired by a good company, what type of skills which would be required from a job in marketing? So let me tell you that you might, if you are interested in marketing or human resource per se, you might be someone who is not interested in mathematics. You might be someone who is not interested in data modeling and statistics. So let me tell you from now on that future of marketing, human resource, all of these fields which were non-mathematical in the past, they are going to become highly mathematical in the future. So if you are not good in maths and statistics, companies might not want to hire you as a marketer. Now you might say that what is the relationship with that? So if you want to do target marketing and those type of things, which you might study in the advanced marketing course, you will find out that what is the role of statistics in that. Yes. So these type of things you want to, just like what I'm trying to say is, just like you want to look at the history past, you also want to look in the future. And no one can really know what is in the future, but still you can have couple of things there. So you might not predict something by 100% accuracy, but you can say 3 or 4 things, and one of those things is going to happen. Yeah. So that is that type of forecasting. So not just one forecast, make 3 or 4 forecasts that A can happen, B can happen, C can happen, D can happen. These are maybe 4 or 5 things which can happen in the future, and then prepare yourself for that from now on. Because if you don't do that, then it will be a challenge for you to find application in the your application in the apply yourself in the job market and so on. So for example, look at this one, Kurt Lewin. Yeah. So he came up with this model, unfreezing, moving, and refreezing. Yeah, this is one of the models which Kurt Lewin has introduced. So unfreezing, so what he's saying is that change happens. For change to happen, you need to work on three. It happens in 3 different stages. So stage 1 is unfreezing. So you unfreeze yourself from the past. Yeah. So whatever you have been doing in the past, you unfreeze, you let go, you disassociate yourself. So that time, you give yourself time to break the link from the past. That is unfreezing portion. And then moving into moving into a new practice, new habit, a new way of doing things, whatever change you want to bring in, moving into that. And then once you have moved into that, give yourself some time to establish the link in with moving. And once you have established the link, then you refreeze yourself. What does refreezing means? Essentially speaking, refreezing means that the new habit becomes your so Mason is saying unfreezing is more like the current environment, what is happening. So we are kind of unfreezing. Very good example. That is what we should be doing, because these models are just theory. We should be able to apply them with our situation. So very good point our friend has posted in the chat. Please look into that. Think about this COVID-19. What is that? You are maybe some of you are still unfreezing. Some people have already unfrozen themselves and they have moved into this new norm of social distancing. And although we like to hug and kiss and all of those things, whatever, when we meet our friends, and we want to have some physical contact with them, but because of this environment we have formed new way of doing things. So some people are okay with that, So some people are, wearing masks and whatever. So they have moved into that. And then in the future, maybe some people, even once the government says that okay, COVID-19 is under control, still some people would continue to have some type of social distancing, or washing their hands more frequently, and maybe this will become our new norm for some people, not for everyone, because these things are, everyone don't do anything, even in these times. Social distancing, is it the case that everyone is doing social distancing? No, there are some people who are not doing social distancing even in these times. Yeah. So in the future, maybe some people would say that okay, all right, let me wear mask, although the COVID-19 cases are down, but still let me be a little bit more careful, for any reason. Maybe they don't want, their job is very, something in which they don't want to get sick, and or maybe in their environment, or maybe they are just, they are just being more careful than other people. They don't want to spread the virus or anything like that. Maybe that. So different motivation for different people. So although this looks like a very basic model, but it is very very useful. And then force feed analysis, and the postings which I will be making from the book, they will talk in detail about these models and so on. So once you see those, you will be fine. But meanwhile, look at these, these slides, history. uh, what are the things the past scholars have been saying about change management, who are the top people, and maybe run a Google search on them and read more on them. Not Don't just restrict yourself to the slides and the book chapters. Read a little bit more on these. For example, General Electric. What happened to General Electric? Yeah, we were talking about mergers and acquisitions a while ago, and then some companies which were very big in the past, they become redundant, or they lost their value over the years. Why? Because the companies were not managing the change properly. There are many companies like, Yahoo was very big in one time. They still are doing fine, but they are not as big as other companies. Other companies like, Kodak was very big company, extremely big. But are they big anymore? Maybe not. Nokia was exceptionally big. They still are in the business, but not as big as they could have been if they were managing change in a better way. But I'm not trying to say anything negative about these companies. These are very exceptional companies, Nokia and so on. But it is just the nature of change that, as you guys mentioned, we like to be comfortable. We many times don't see value in the thing in that moment. uh, Different reasons, and we miss the opportunity. uh, so just like COVID-19 times, this is a hard time, but this time has also brought many opportunities in it. Please look at the earnings of, for example, Amazon, how they have improved their business in the since COVID-19 came. Uh, they did not they did not lose money. They increased their profits. Uh, you might argue that they are a company which is set on a model which would be more useful in COVID-19. But if you will read more, you will see that the boss of the company, he really made some changes when COVID-19 came, and those changes are the reason why the company is doing very well. You can read the details in your own time if you are interested. Similarly, read the details on General Electric, and this guy is pretty famous, Jack Welch, General Electric. Read the details and try to understand why we should uh, care about history. What are some of the more importantly, what are some of the lessons we can take from history? Um, I think that would be important. And and let me for example say that, there are many there are many countries which were able to minimize the spread of COVID-19, especially in Asia. If you see their history of those countries, you will see that in the past 10 years or so, similar type of not similar, but these type of diseases were spreading in those countries. They had these experiences, and they were not able to do very well in those times earlier, maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when similar type of diseases were spreading. But this time when COVID-19 came, they were able to minimize the spread. Why is that? Because they had that experience, and they looked at their history and tried to find the best practices, and then use those practices, and then maybe minimize the spread of the disease and so on. Yes, thanks, Shamar. I was forgetting the names of the country, Thailand and Vietnam. These type of countries, if you look at their history, you will find out that they had North Korea and so on. Thanks very much, guys. So many times this happens, that that is why they say experience is very important. Experience, that is very important, because when you have experience, then you can make make better decisions. As a matter of fact, I was reading this book on decision making, and they were saying that good decision making comes from making a lot of bad decisions, so you have to, you no one comes with the knowledge of making right decisions when they are born. People make mistakes, but the idea is that you need to learn from those mistakes and don't repeat it the second time. You can make more mistakes, but make it differently. Every time you learn from your past experience, and over the period of time you learn from them. But then there are some countries who don't learn from the past. Same way, there are many organizations who don't learn from their own failures. And as Mason is talking about wisdom, so I was reading another some quote which says that wise is the one who can learn from other people's failure, other people's mistake. But I would say that even if you can learn from who is that girl now? Bad girl. Nice. Yes. Now I have my thoughts are distracted now. Okay, history and evolution. Please think about these things. 10 rules of implementing change. Yeah. Analyze the organization and its need for change. What is the need for change? Why should we change? What is the motivation? Why? Yes, you should change, but why? Why should I change? And that why should be very strong, very compelling. That why should be making you uncomfortable, as we were talking about this earlier. The why should give you sleepless nights. You are not able to do anything else. You can't able to eat, you can't able to sleep, you can't able to, because you want to bring that change. You are very focused in bringing that change. Only then change is possible. Otherwise, forget about it. It's very easy to say that, oh, we will change this and we will change that. It's not that easy based on the little I know. But you guys will read and develop your own understanding, shared vision, shared values. We spoke about this earlier, if you guys were listening to the conversation. Separate from the past. Create a sense of urgency. You will see this again and again in multiple models, creating a sense of urgency that you need to do it now. Now is the time. And what is our attitude? We like to procrastinate. All of us. We like to delay the things. Are you going to start studying for the final exam from tonight? Yeah, this is a question. Are you guys going to start preparing for the final exam or for the midterm exam from tonight? When the session is over, what are you going to do? Yeah. So a person who wants to bring the change from 50s and 60s to scoring 90s and 100s, they will be creating a sense of urgency. They will say all of my time in this semester is going to go for all the 4 courses I'm going to take, and I'm just going to study, 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 and don't do anything else. No Netflix for me for this for this for this term. So if you are going to watch the Netflix and do other things, then how the change is going to happen? How you will change your 50s and 60s to 80s and 90s and 100s? That is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It might happen, if the final exam is leaked or something else, or you have access to the questions which will be asked and you prepare them. But outside of that, it's not possible. Support a strong leadership. Leaders. There is a chapter in the book on the role of leaders, and I will be posting that recording also later on in the term. Leaders are very important in any type of change initiatives, because they are the ones who are going to say yes or no to your request, what you can do, what you cannot do. uh, Political sponsorship. Politics uh, Politics is everywhere. Politics is uh, uh, not just in the elections. Politics is in the organizations. Politics is in the departments. Likability of different people, disliking different people, all of that is politics. So so that political sponsorship, whatever whatever politics are being run in the organization, you need to find out who are the peoples who have influence. What is political sponsorship? It is the people who have maybe influence on other people. So you want to bring those people on your side so they can sponsorship, or they can give you hand in leading the change or implementing the change, and so on. uh, Developing enabling structures, communication involving people, being honest, all of these things. uh, Please do watch the recordings as I post during the term. They are covered in those recordings. Yeah, so please in your own time look into uh, these these slides. John Cotter is exceptional guy in the field. uh, he has a model. uh, I will be posting uh, on that also. So, but start reading on that. Maybe 8 step model of change. John Cotter. Yeah, if you run a Google search, you will find it. Who Moved My Cheese? This is a very famous book. Uh, Please run a Google search on the book and download it on the PDF. It should be available on somewhere on the internet, or you can uh, find it on YouTube and listen to the recording or something. It's an excellent book. Who Moved My Cheese? It's a short book. You will learn a thing or two about change management. Yeah. But these things I think you should look into in your own time. We tried to have a little bit of a discussion on these things. I am seeing if there is something worth mentioning. Uh, I will do that. Uh, these things you can read in your own time. What is a theory? What is a model? What is the approach? Uh, but just understand that uh, the models which you will see in the book when you are reading those. Uh, okay, thanks, Gabby. I think Gabby has made the posting for us. So please look into that posting and start reading. And if you find it interesting, you can read it. If you don't find it interesting, you don't have to. Uh, you don't have to. Yeah, so it is available online. So please see if you can read it. Yeah, so what I was saying, that there will be a lot of models in the book, but what I'm trying to say, that those models are just there to guide you. They are not final words, because you have to see your own situation and then link it, uh, or modify the model to meet your demand, what you want to do. So as a change manager, what I want to say is that you need to really understand your own situation, your own dynamics, your own personality, what type of person you are. That becomes very important, because you would be leading change. So bringing change in your life, or supporting change in your organization, uh, are you open to change? Are you open to new ideas? Do you have that type of personality, or you are someone who is comfortable with the way things are right now? And nothing is wrong in being comfortable with the life. Nothing is wrong in that, because different people have different motivations. Uh, some people want to achieve a lot of success in their career. Other people want to develop a work life balance. Other people want to just not work. And some people want to do different things. So it depends on so many things related with the personality of the person, I think. So but let me come back and say that these models which you will see, what I'm trying to say is, they are not final word. That is how I look at it. You can have your own opinion on that. uh, Very good. The book is also there. Please start reading the book, because I will be making the postings, pre-recorded lectures, chapter by chapter, and you will be watching those, and then maybe asking questions if you have any. So thanks, Gabby, for the. So look at this. Look at this. Who is? I said something, and who are the people who gave me the names of the country? Shamar gave me name of the country. Mason gave me name of the country. I asked you guys to read the book, and who is giving the books? Gabby is doing that. So why Gabby is sharing the links? What is the motivation for Gabby to share the link? She could have just found, and she would have said, "All right, let me just read it myself, and I'm not going to share it with other people, because other people might read it also, and then uh, anything like that." Yeah. And how many people are saying thanks to the people who gave us the names of the countries, North Korea and so on, and gave us these books and made other comments? How many people are at least saying a thanks or something? Not everyone. Yes. So what is that? So I'm not trying to judge anyone. That is not. I'm just trying to make a point that different people are are going to behave very differently. And then for example, Shamara is only going to say ty and not type fully thank you. Maybe she is eating or doing something else, and she just quickly. Yeah. So everyone is different. That is what I'm trying to say. Everyone is different, very different. And when you are managing change, you have to be you have to find an approach which is suitable for that person. Yeah. So think how difficult that is going to be, because then you will be changing your approach all the time. You will have to spend so much time in learning about the people. That is very difficult. It's time consuming. What I'm trying to say is, before you go into any type of change initiative, you need to think about all those things. Do you have the passion to bring that change? Are you going to get tired after 1 day or 2 day or 1 month, 1 year or 2 years? uh, Last election, JLP won by very minor, a minor victory. Yeah, very slim majority, maybe 1 or 2 seats, something like that. Yeah. And 5 years, 4 years gone, and they promised that they are going to change the country. The people voted for change. So is the change here or not? No, the change is not here. But the people of Jamaica, they made the right choice by re-electing the same government. That is the right choice to do, because you have given them 4 years. They have started working on the things, and changing Jamaica is not going to happen in 4 years or 3 years. It's not possible. You need to give people more time. So that is what people did. They gave them 2/3 majority. So with that, more responsibility comes on the shoulder of that government. So I'm not trying to talk pro JLP or PNP. We are not talking about politics. We are talking about change. So to bring change, you need to give more time, and that is something which the electorate understood, and they, of course, happy with the things which they saw in the government, and they gave them the chance again. And let's say after 4 years, 5 years, will Jamaica will be changed, and the prosperity would be here? Most likely no, because we are trying to cover up the mess which was created in years and years. But as long as you are on the right path, you are taking the steps towards the right direction. Your direction is right. The results don't matter. The direction should be right. So that should be the mindset in change. So think about in our own life. You want to bring some change. It's not going to happen very quickly for some, but some people can do it very differently. Again, it can do it very fast. Again, it depends on the personality of the person. Some people just leave something and then they don't look back. So they have changed themselves. Other people, they can't. They can't make that type of so quickly. So to understand change management, I think we need to understand ourselves. What are our positives, negatives, strong areas, weak areas, and then from there, I think some type of change management can maybe start taking some steps towards that direction, and so on. These are some models. Again, they will explain in the when I will be making the postings for the book. Behavior change, that is what I was referring to. Behavior change of individual. How behavior change of individual is going to come. You need to understand that 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 individual. If someone is behaving in a certain way, you need to understand why they are behaving in that way before you want to change them. Why? If someone is angry with you, you want to before you take any action, you might want to understand why they are angry. What is the reason? And maybe minimize whatever their frustration is all about, whatever they are frustrating about, whatever they are frustrated about. Yeah. But these things are very time consuming, and majority of the people don't do it. But what I'm trying to say, if you want to bring change, you need to understand that. So when someone is fighting with you and getting angry and shouting, you don't start shouting. If you want to change the person, if you don't want to change the person, then of course you can have a physical fight with them or do whatever you want to do with them. But that is just going to worsen the situation. It is not going to change anything. If you want to change, you want to understand why they are. So so for example, I want you guys to speak and participate in the discussion and give points. That is the change I want to. So now, how many people spoke? Maybe 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So should I be disappointed about that? No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm very happy. What if no one would have spoken? What if no one would have spoken? Could I do anything? No, I don't think I was able to do anything, especially when I can't see you. So I'm happy. 5, 6 people spoke. And you will see that next time maybe 10 people will speak. Next time maybe 12 will speak. Next time 15 will speak. By the end of the semester, maybe out of 120 friends would be speaking. Maybe. Well, that is enough. That is enough. You don't go for all out. If you don't see what is not happening, see what is happening. That type of approach, maybe I would want to take in this example which I shared with you. Yeah. Remember, one friend was talking about approaches. So So approaches are something which you really need to reflect on and think about. Okay, these things I think you can. The prerequisite of the course is organizational behavior and law, MGMT 2008. That is the prerequisite. So all of these things are coming from they are linked with that so much. They are really linked with 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 that and the things which you do. So for example, look at the self concept. This is what I have been talking about, knowing yourself, your personal identity. From there you create values, from there you create beliefs, then your attitudes are formed, then your feeling is formed, and your feelings, positive or negative, if you are getting positive feeling in the session and you feel that you should say something and you feel that your comment will be well received, if you get that type of feeling, then your behavior will change. And if you are not speaking, it will start. On the other hand, if your feeling is negative, if you are seeing that the consequences for people or friends who have been speaking, they are bad consequences, other people are saying, or I am saying that what type of comment is this don't make sense. If I say that one time, just one time, what is going to happen? No one is going to speak, because then everyone is on their guard, everyone is on. So feelings converted into behavior, and then the result. What would be the result? So there are 40 plus people in the session. If they are giving, there are 40 minds, 40 different minds are thinking about one concept, one topic. How think about the value of information we can generate from that, instead of just me speaking and so on. Yeah. So all of us would learn from that type of engagement. Yeah. So just think about this. If those friends were not there in the session, who gave us the name of the countries, Vietnam and so on, I did not remember them. So, and maybe majority of you would not even care to run a Google search or something like that. Yeah. So what would happen? So collectiveness, shared values. Think about those things. This is something which you have seen it multiple times. I'm sure Maslow's hierarchy of needs uh, is it is discussed in detail in 2008 MGMT, organizational behavior. What you need to do first. There are some needs, some basic needs, shelter, food, clothing, and so on. And eventually, you want to go in self-actualization. Again, this one is again something from MGMT 2008. These tests, take this test, MBTI, and try to learn your personality, what type of personality you have. Well, you guys said that you are shy, and what is our personality? Shy. All of us are shy people. Introverts. All right. So try to and also interesting thing is that personality don't remain same. Today you might take test and you might be X personality, and after 5 years you take the test, your personality is different. In different times, personality becomes different. Yeah. So personality is not something. So there can be someone who is very coward, not brave, very coward, and there can be a situation in which he becomes very brave. So there is a very coward person and he does not do any type of fight or anything, and he's just, people say whatever they want to say to him or her and they don't respond, but the person is attacked, and then that person do something which even they don't understand how they got that energy, that that vibe to do that. This happens, this happens. People are attacked, and then in that attack they do things which they would not have done otherwise in their regular life. They don't do that. Yeah, we spoke briefly about this unfreezing, but it is not that simple. Well, it is simple, but there are more things to this. So please please check out all the recordings as I post during the term, because we will be doing synchronous and asynchronous. So some sessions will be live and some sessions will be pre-recorded. So when the sessions are recorded, don't think that you don't have to watch them. You have to watch them. Yeah. Well, you don't have to watch them, but if you will watch, you can perform better in your exams and you can develop a better understanding of change management. Yeah. So for example, this one, if you look at this one, Lipton's model, unfreezing, you saw this, moving, you saw this, refreezing, you saw this, but they are putting in couple of more steps. For example, establish a change relationship. Yeah. Achieve a terminal relationship. Yeah. These type of minor adjustments they are making, nothing hard at all. But you will have to maybe start reading the book. That is what I would advise. And then if something is not clear, uh, we can talk more on that. This is what I was talking about. Cotter's 8-step change model, very, very famous, 7 steps. So I'm going to make a posting of one of my uh, presentations on this, and it's like 1 hour presentation just on this, just on Cotter's 8 steps. It's more than 1 hour, I think, or maybe 45, something like 1 hour presentation on this. So uh, that tells you that you can go as much as in detail on any topic in change management, and you can continue thinking about that. So I really encourage you to start doing that. Think, reflect in your own time, raise questions, come in the session when we are doing it live, raise them so other people can answer it, and together we can maybe find some type of way forward. Or you can always email me and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, so as we are coming to the conclusion, what are you taking away from this session? We spent like 2 hours on talking about this, whatever we were doing. What are 1 or 2 things you take away? What are some of the thoughts which are coming? If 1 or 2 friends can, or maybe more, can maybe say some concluding remarks about what we have been trying. What are you taking away from this? Are there any things which you are taking from this? Change comes with good and bad. Very good. Yes, very good. So change. So even when you would want to change, it would not be that only good things are from that. Every change has a cost. Uh, so if you are willing to pay that cost, then that change can come. For example, I gave you example of myself. I love sodas, carbonated waters. So I can I can change my behavior and quit Coke. But what would be the cost? That cost, which whatever I feel when I am consuming that thing. Or someone like for the ganja, for example, marijuana. Yeah. So some people are interested in that. Yeah. Happiness, for example, as so if you are willing to sacrifice a little bit of gratification, happiness, for a bigger gain, which is not compromising your health, being more healthy, not consuming, sugary drinks. These are not good at all. Uh, so that if you are willing to pay the cost, then you can. But what happens is that most of us, including myself, most of us, we live in the moment. So we see, okay, all right, this is the time we can enjoy. Let's enjoy it. So this Netflix show, very nice, it is out, let me watch it tonight instead of reading some book or something like that. Why? Because reading the book is very boring. What is the point? And then watching Netflix is going to give us that happiness, excitement, and all of that. So that is the trick in that. If you can if you, as a matter of fact, people who are successful in life, they, whatever they do, they always keep an eye on the long run. So they see, yes, if I consume this thing or do this thing now, I will enjoy it now, but it has a big cost in the future, in the future. So they will not do it. On the other hand, a person who is not very smart is just going to, enjoy in the moment, and and deal with the future when it comes. Other friends have made very nice pointers. Change is necessary for growth. I think that is one of the pointers which I am also taking from the points you made, because one friend was saying that, we don't change because we are we are we are we are comfortable in a situation. So once we are comfortable with the situation, we cannot grow. So this is what we need to remember. When we are uncomfortable, the other word which we can use is that we are growing. So we are uncomfortable, instead of that we can say we are growing, because we are uncomfortable now, so we are growing our skill set, we are growing our whatever. So that is going to change your mindset, that is going to change your attitude. And you saw in one of the slides how the attitude change result in feelings and so on, and at the end the results. Opportunity cost, of course. So there is always this is something, some basic econ course, you think about opportunity cost. So it's always cost. uh, so very good. Thank you very much. You guys have made excellent pointers in the chat. Uh, thanks. Thanks for that.